Hello everyone, today me and my partner Stephanie will explain about the human movement and support system. The human movement and support system, also known as the musculoskeletal system, is the organ system that allows our body to move around. The musculoskeletal system provides form, support, stability, movement as well as protection for organs. It is made up of the bones of the skeleton, muscles, cartilage, tendons, ligaments, joints, and other connective tissues that support and bind tissues and organs together. Part of the musculoskeletal system is the skeletal system. It serves many important functions, such as providing shape and form for the body, support protection, allowing movement, producing blood, and storing minerals. Humans are generally born with 300 bones, but as we grow up, some bones are deemed unusable, hence they fuse together into a single bone. As a result, an average adult only has 206 bones. There are 6 general classifications of bones. These are the long bones, short bones, flat bones, ilium, irregular bones, and sesamoid bones. The skeletal system also serves as a framework for tissues and organs to attach themselves to. Another function is the storage of minerals, calcium and phosphorus being the main minerals stored. The importance of this storage is to help regulate mineral balance inside of the body, so our body is fit enough to do regular activities. When the fluctuation of minerals is high, these minerals are stored in the bone so that when it is low, these minerals that were previously stored can be withdrawn from the bone and regulated around the body. In the musculoskeletal system, there are of course a lot of muscles, tissues, and organs, but we will only be covering 3 of the most important ones, which are the tendon, ligament, and the cartilage. The tendon is the connective tissue that connects between the muscles to the bones, so it allows the muscles to stick and attach to the bones. Ligaments connect the ends of the bones together to form a joint, which allows the movement between 2 bones and muscles. The cartilage is a gel-like substance and is the structural component for many of the body components like the rib cage, the ear, and it is divided into 3 major types, which are the hyaline, elastic, and the fibrocartilage. As for the muscles in the musculoskeletal system, they are divided into 3 types, which are the skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscles. The skeletal muscles are attached to the bones and moves the skeleton around. It is a voluntary muscle, meaning that you can move it by your own will and is fully under your control. For smooth muscles, they are involuntary muscles and they are the muscles around your organs. Involuntary meaning that you cannot move them on your own and they will automatically move or process on their own. As for the cardiac, it is the muscle of the heart, and it is of course an involuntary muscle, since if the cardiac muscle were to be a voluntary muscle, then you would have an unfortunate death, which is dying in your sleep, since you cannot pump the heart.
Mechanism of muscular contraction and relaxation. Contraction happens when our motor neuron tells our muscle cell to contract. This happens in the neuromuscular junction. It's the junction where our motor neuron communicates with the muscle cell. So first we have our axon terminal, which is the end of a neuron. Sitting next to it is the muscle cell, and the muscle cell has this infolding shape to increase the surface area. With the increase of the surface area, there will be more sodium and calcium channels. So when a signal is released from the motor neuron, the signal will pass through the axon terminal. This signal is in the form of sodium and calcium ion. Once the calcium ion binds with the synaptic vesicle containing the acetylcholine, also known as the neuron transmitter, the axon membrane will fuse with the synaptic vesicle into one continuous membrane. This will cause the release of the acetylcholine into the synaptic cleft. The sodium channel have acetylcholine receptor, and the acetylcholine in the synaptic cleft will bind to the receptor and send a message to the sodium channel. Once the sodium channel receives the message, it will open and let sodium and calcium ion to enter to the muscle cell. This process is called voltage-gated calcium release. Inside the muscle cell, there is this reservoir that releases calcium when it's needed. This reservoir is called sarcoplasmic reticulum. When there are enough calcium inside the muscle cell, the sarcoplasmic reticulum will release all the calcium that is stored. This procedure is called calcium-induced calcium release. Contraction happens in the myofibril, and there's a network of tubules and channels surrounding it called the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which stores and releases calcium when it's needed. Each myofibril can be broken down into functional parts called the sarcomere, and when we look through a two-dimensional space, we can see that it consists of actin and myosin. As I explained previously, when there is a signal cast away from a neuron, it causes the release of a chemical called the acetylcholine. The presence of acetylcholine causes the calcium to enter the muscle cell. And when there are enough calcium inside the muscle cell, the sarcoplasmic reticulum will release all the calcium it stored. Those calcium will bind through troponin, changing its shape and moving tropomyosin from the active site of the actin, so that myosin can now attach to the actin, forming a cross bridge. But when the muscle is at rest, there are multiple things that prevent myosin from attaching itself to the actin. The first two sets of protein wrap around the actin called tropomyosin and troponin. Each head of the myosin has an ATP molecule stuck to it, and the energy of that broken ATP is stored inside the head. This energy is used by the myosin to pull the actin inwards. And in order to stop the contraction, it will take another ATP molecule to attach to the myosin head, which break one of the phosphate to release its energy. This energy breaks the bond of the myosin head with the actin. When the myosin and the actin are separated, the sarcoplasmic reticulum will pump all the calcium back inside, while the troponin and the tropomyosin will retake their position around the actin.
Musculoskeletal diseases, or MSDs for short, are common diseases that occur in older people as well as younger people. The severity of MSDs can vary from light pain and numbness to immense pain and interfering with our daily activities. We will be covering three main and most common MSDs, which are the carpal tunnel syndrome, tendinitis, and muscle or tendon strain. Carpal tunnel syndrome is a condition that causes pain around the hand and arm. It occurs when one of the major nerves, the median nerve, is squeezed or compressed. The most common causes are frequent hand use, hand or wrist position, as well as heredity. Common symptoms include numbness, pain, sensational shocks, and clumsiness in the hand. Treatments for carpal tunnel syndrome include wrist splinting anti-inflammatory drugs, or in worst cases surgery. Wrist splinting uses a splint that holds your wrist in a fixed position, which decreases the pressure on the nerve since the fixed position fixes your previously wrong hand position. And inflammatory drugs such as ibuprofen can relieve pain, but it is only used for the short term. There's also corticosteroids, which is done by injecting the carpal tunnel with corticosteroid such as cortisone to relieve pain. This can decrease the pressure, inflammation, and swelling. Surgery can also be done by taking the pressure off completely from the median nerve. The second MSD is tendinitis or tendinitis. It's a chronic condition which the tissue connecting to the muscle or the tendon becomes inflamed. The main cause of tendinitis is when a person overuses or injures the tendon, mostly during sports. This disease can occur at any age, but is more common among people who do sports. Older people are susceptible because tendons start to lose elasticity and become weaker with age. Symptoms for tendinitis includes pain, which worsens on movement, swelling as well as lumping on the tendon. Home treatments such as resting from physical activities, using ice packs, and anti-inflammatories may reduce pain and inflammation on the tendon. For worst cases, treatments can be done through phonophoresis, lontophoresis, cortisone injections, and surgery. Phonophoresis uses ultrasound to help anti-inflammatories suck to the skin. Lontophoresis uses electrical stimulation to help anti-inflammatories suck to the skin as well. Cortisone injections can reduce the inflammation by injecting steroids. Surgery can also help remove inflammations. There are many types of tendinitis, common ones being Achilles tendinitis, golfer's elbow, supraspinatus tendinitis, or tennis elbow. These tendinitis tend to occur due to the lack of stretching and repetitive movements. So, tendinitis can be prevented by having stretchings or cool downs during or before workouts, and reducing repetitive movements or taking a break between activities. Muscle strain is also one of the common MSDs. Occurs when the muscle is overstretched or torn. This is usually a result of overuse, improper use, or fatigue of a muscle, mainly due to sports. The common causes are lack of flexibility, not warming up before physical activities, and fatigues. These muscle strains can happen in any muscle and can cause soreness, bruising, and limited movement. Treatments include resting, using ice packs, compression, and elevation. Ice packs can reduce swelling to the muscle and reduce pain. Compression is done by wrapping the affected area with an elastic bandage. This can reduce blood flow and reduce swelling, elevation can be done by keeping the injured muscle above the heart, so blood will not flow down to that muscle. Muscle strain can also be classified into two types, acute and chronic. Acute are usually caused by high-intensity physical activities such as lifting weights, running, walking, slipping, etc., while chronic muscle strains are mainly caused by repetitive movement. The risk of this can be reduced by increasing flexibility, having good posture, and doing sports or physical activities with more caution to prevent all of the muscle strains.
Well, this is the end of the video. I hope this helped you guys understand more about the musculoskeletal system. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and have a great day.